So one of the dumbest ideas to have come out throughout the last 20 years is that video games are responsible for violence. Okay, this is one of the dumbest things that have come around here. And basically, the people who blame video games for violence are out-of-touch boomers, obviously, and of course the mainstream media, because all they ever want is attention. Even though they blame video games for violence and discredit the influence of parents and communities. Obviously, people can be influenced by, of course, radical parts of political groups, radical parts of your religion, or you have to look at a certain group that was around throughout the last decade. I'm not going to mention them, but we know who we're talking about. People can be even inspired by very horrible figures to cause violence. Heck, Kanye West probably caused more violence last year, and this year, for his words about a certain group of people than video games did 2022 and 2023. Kanye West probably inspired more violence than Elden Ring. Same thing with Andrew Tate being arrested. Okay, stuff like that is likely to cause violence way more than video games. And of course, the influence of parents. A lot of kids can get angry at their parents because either the parents abuse them or they neglect their child, basically, or they don't eat, basically stuff like that, okay? And of course, mental health as well, not really doing, much to help with it either. So, instead of buying video games and telling more realistic stories, they actually parent your kids, which further proves that not every person is fit to be a parent. Number 9. Weak causal relationships ignore any individual differences. Positive reasons between video games and violence do exist. But again, it's the same thing with movies, TV shows as well. Okay? There are many crimes that have been committed based off TV shows, based off what people saw on TV and saw in movies. Okay? And stuff like Chucky. Okay, Child's Play. Stuff like Friday the 13th, Clockwork Orange, The Matrix. Okay? All those movies caused violence. And inspired killings, basically. Okay? For example, video games, we basically sold, non-violent video games, violent video games. And we have the healing damage level here, and aggression here. Yeah. But basically, they sold wistful identification of the character, and they saw as well want to emulate the thoughts, values, and behaviors. The internet video game caused violence and assumes that anyone who plays video games can become more violent, when the reality is much more nuanced than that. Same thing can be applied with R-rated movies and violent TV shows like Game of Thrones. Okay, Game of Thrones is a very violent TV show. John Wick is a very violent movie series. Okay? Or look at anime. Look at Chainsaw Man. Okay? Chainsaw Man is very violent. Okay? Okay, Chainsaw Man is an anime. We'll go to number 8. Many studies define violence that cannot be generalized. Obviously here. Experimental studies show that causation have weak relationships at best. Okay, so causation studies between video games and violence is low. Same thing with violent movies. Because most people are normal. And that's the next thing. Okay, most people are normal. Most people know that video games are not real. Movies are actors and are not real. Okay, they'll use the CGI. Same thing with TV shows. Okay, so you're telling me that a crime show? Well, yeah, there's also, crime shows, too. Crime shows can cause violence, too. If you're using that logic, by the video games cause violence. There was a lack of directionally, perhaps people more aggressive tendencies play more video games. Okay? No, it's because of the brain. Okay? They may like video games more, but they also may like R-rated movies. Heck, rap music can cause violence. Okay? Or they might listen to more heavy metal music. And that might cause them to have violence. Same thing with watching violent TV shows like Game of Thrones. Okay? Here. Yeah. Video game results with positive correlation does not indicate causation. Even studies with so positive correlation, the link between two things automatically does not mean one the other. An only example was films in Nicolas Cage as appeared with a number of people who drown in the pool. Of course, people are not going to be drowning themselves because of Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is not going to be blamed for people drowning. Okay? Nicolas Cage likely does not cause more drowning, so it's likely other variables, just like video games and violence. At best, research shows a mixed link between video games and violence. The same thing can be said of movies and TV shows. Do you know what's funny is that the mainstream media never, ever mentions R-rated movies or R-rated, or violent TV shows like Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones, okay? Or stuff like Family Guy and South Park, as well, or anime. Increases in gun violence are not related to video games. Of course, you have stuff like John Wick. Okay, well, John Wick's shooting people left and right. Okay, John Wick is a very violent movie. But that's why, if you have seen the John Wick movies, you'll understand why I'm going at here. However, the gun violence from 1990 to 2016 has been on a steady decrease. If video games are such a global phenomenon, we'll be seeing a global increase in gun violence. But the fact the U.S. is one of the few countries that show this trend that varies and agrees to increase in gun violence, such as higher accessibility to firearms. Video game sales increased, but overall crime decreased. Video crime decrease has since 1993. But video game sales have increased as well. Not all video games are violent. Stuff like Animal Crossing are not violent. Okay? Yes, stuff like Doom is very violent. But Animal Crossing does not cause violence. Okay? Unless you get really angry at Tom Nook for some reason. Okay? And the reason why people think that video games cause violence is because of mainstream media. The mainstream media started this whole idea that, because of course everybody listens to the mainstream media. The World Health Organization even made a gaming disorder, but I bet that's mostly for League of Legends players, because League of Legends players do not know how to touch grass. Okay? But people have been saying for a long time, the mainstream media needs to, and boomers need to stop blaming video games for real life violence. It is really stupid people still say this. Okay? It is the same as saying R-rated movies and violent TV shows like Game of Thrones, R-rated horror movies like, Child's Play, Matrix, Nightmare on Elm Street, okay? Stuff like those movies, okay? Or Halloween, okay? Clockwork Orange. Or a more recent example, Joker. Okay? Joker did not cause any violence whatsoever. Okay? Playing violent video games does not seem to have a meaningful impact on aggression. I think the whole thing of video games causing violence has been debunked already for a while. But boomers and other people will still push the idea that video games can cause violence. That video games are the big boogeymen. Gaming is not to blame for violence. It'll be the same as blaming movies and TV shows and violent anime. And of course violent TV shows, and of course R-rated movies for violence. Blaming something like Doom for causing violence isn't the same thing as blaming to do It, to do Joker, to do Deadpool movie. All R-rated movies with a lot of violent scenes and disturbing scenes as well. All of those movies made a lot of money, hundreds of millions of dollars worldwide. But those movies didn't really cause many violence. Okay? All those movies were pretty violent. Deadpool was pretty violent. Joker was pretty disturbing, if you really think about it. The whole part of the movie. And of course, as well, It. New It movie as well. And other newer R-rated movies as well that came out over the past couple of years. Same thing with TV shows. You're telling me that Game of Thrones hasn't inspired any murders? For example, you have shows that have inspired murders. You have Dexter. You have, of course, Criminal Minds, which is a crime show. American Horror Story. Here. But the media, mainstream media, will never, ever talk about how TV shows cause violence. Save for the movies. Here. But are we saying all these movies on the list cause violence? Of course not. Most people know that movies are fictional and most TV shows are fictional. Is the mainstream media saying that we need to cancel the new, the last Child's Play movie, the next It movie, when they're making another It movie? Do they need to cancel Megan 2? No, they don't, because most people are normal and know that video games are fiction. Okay. Here. Here, there's many examples of movies, R-rated movies, and sometimes even PG-13 movies that can inspire real-life crimes. Same thing of games, and the same thing of TV shows, and probably the same thing of animes as well. Anything can cause violence. It's really because of the people's mental abilities, the mental problems, okay? People that need help, but nobody has helped them. That's why the movie Joker warned us. The movie about Joker warned us. Instead of bringing some boogeyman, you should really be trying to help these people so they don't commit more violence. But, nope. I bet the mainstream media will probably continue still blaming gaming for causing violence for years to come, because the mainstream media won't listen to me. They just wanna, get outrage of people. Goodbye.